So my background is radiology, mammography, breast imaging for over 30 years. When I first heard about LifeVantage, and that was almost 10 years ago, 9.5 years ago, a friend approached me, knocked on my door in my office, said, I need you to watch this 8-time investigative report, and it's going to blow your mind. And so I was just really enthralled with it because I had just learned from an oncology conference about a year earlier about this new concept of personalized medicine, how we're going to know our genome. It's going to be mapped with certain therapies. We're going to be able to know which drugs and therapies work best for our genome. So I learned about this new technology from a cardiologist in our city that was building this business of LifeVantage. He talked about NRF2 technology, which was this brand new concept, like I said, of like nutrigenomics, turning on switches or genes in our human genome and turning on good ones, turning down bad ones. And I was like, wow, I've always been a little bit very interested in proactive health. Like I said, I was a fitness instructor for many years prior, and always been interested in ways to kind of, slow down the aging process. And I had just lost my father-in-law a few years prior to a massive heart attack. My mother-in-law died of a brain tumor, and they were barely 60 years old. My son, our father-in-law was 59, and my mother-in-law had just turned 60, died of a brain tumor. So we were really impacted with that, right then too. And I thought, well, my husband, when I learned this product lowered oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, I'm like, my husband, because of his, his heart and cancer history, this is something that he and I are going to take for the rest of our lives. So we started just as customers in the beginning of May of 2011. But 2 weeks later, we went to a seminar and learned from this cardiologist in Sioux Falls that this was a brand new technology, that this NRF2 was kind of the wave of the future. And he was getting into proactive cardiology, where being a functional medicine doctor, more on the proactive side and preventative side of healthcare. So I was really resonating with that message. And I thought, wow, if this new technology is going to be a big deal, kind of like this new wave of personalized medicine, I was kind of connecting the dots. And I thought, hey, I'm going to take this product anyway. And I was acting like a distributor at the time because I was a customer, but I was telling my friends about this new product that I was taking, that I was excited about. And so I went to the seminar and I learned about it, and they're like, Marilyn, you're already inviting people. This isn't like a full-time 8-hour job. You're going to just mention it passively in conversation, like you are already inviting people to hear about this. And you're going to keep doing your daily life. You're going to keep doing your daily job. You don't have to set everything aside. You don't have to, learn everything. You kind of just, it's the culture of this company. We all kind of lock arms and we do this together in lockstep, and we learn it together. It's called Earn While You Learn. It's on the job training. And the funny thing is when I took over the radiology coordinator or mammography coordinator position at the clinic where I've worked now for 25 years. I'm semi-retired, but the gal I replaced, she went on to be a pharmaceutical rep. And I always kind of thought, gosh, I should maybe go back to school to be a pharmaceutical rep. To me, that sounded really intriguing and interesting, and go talk to doctors about new drugs. And so it was always kind of my dream job. But heck, why go back to school and spend all this money and go through college again when I could just sign up on this Vantage pack? At the time, it was the largest pack available. And I got in and upgraded from a customer to a distributor. And I could be a nutraceutical rep and earn while I learn, and on the job training. And by getting 3 people in, I was already made my money back, and I was on my way. And the person that I enrolled wanted to get out of her job, and she went gangbusters. So while I was doing this just a few hours a week, she was going gangbusters and building really, really fast. And all of a sudden, that first few months and the first, year that we've been into the business, I was already at a Pro 4 level at 10,000 in monthly volume.
Wow.
And then the next year, it went to over 20,000 in monthly volume. And then a few months later, I was at over 50,000 in monthly volume. That's because friends that I knew this gal that was a doctor a neurologist in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's how Julia was enrolled under our organization. And that really was when our, one of the times in my 10-year history in this company that our company or our organization grew really, really fast. So then I got to, in about 4 years, got to the level of Elite Pro 7, and that's $100,000 in volume each month. And that's when you get to participate in something called the Global Elite Sharing Pool. And that's 4% of the sales of the company go into pool, and you get to split it into shares. And that's just an extra bonus. And there's like 6 different ways we get paid in the company. And Julia can explain all that. But I was willing to say yes, because I, number one, loved health and natural ways to hack the biology and slow down aging process. Number one, I had cancer in my family. Like I said, my husband had cancer and heart disease in his family. I also had just had a basal cell cancer removed a few years prior. And I thought, this product, I read a couple of the PubMed studies, and that really impressed me, that Louisiana State University actually had 2 studies of this product and positive results on skin cancer and how it stopped a skin cancer cell from mutating into malignant melanoma. And I'm like, wow, number one, I need to be on this cream. I need to take this pill. I want to be proactive in my health. And so that was where my journey started. And I really did not believe that this was going to be my full-time job or full-time gig one day. Seriously, I did not think big enough sooner. I just thought, hey, if I can make an extra 500 or 1,000 a month, I mean, that would be kind of nice, and maybe go on some fun trips with people. I mean, I wasn't really all in thinking bigger. But what happened was, as I got going and my organization was growing that fast, and it was like, wow, this is real. Like, my husband's like, man, these checks, your 1099 that comes every year of how much the company's paid you. And it was like I was giving myself a raise. And the really cool thing is, right at that time was when, Obamacare kind of came into being, and healthcare was really getting restricted, and, where insurance plans were changing. And it was like, and all of healthcare was, ratcheting back the raises. So that was right at the time that I took a pay cut. And our company, our medical facility, the hospital where I worked, said, you know what, you're not getting your 2% raise. Whoopee, you're not getting your 2% raise or cost of living raise. You're not getting your performance raise this year. So for 2 years, my income stayed exactly the same, and actually kind of slid backwards as a radiology supervisor. But the cool thing is because I was doing LifeVantage 5 in the nooks and crannies, weekends, evenings, over my lunch hour, a few hours a week, seriously, that replaced my full-time income in a few years. And that's how I gave myself a raise. And the cool thing is my coworkers, that were sitting there going backwards in salary, watched me turn in my resignation and say, I'm going to retire and be at 48 years old, be full-time and doing my dream job of nutraceutical rep. And, I'll work a few hours, a month to keep my license for my radiology and mammography technology degree. So I do help out a few shifts a month just to keep my license, because I didn't want to give that up. But I just feel like I have the freedom. I have the best of both worlds. I'm able to, like, I just got back from Florida on a trip, and I'm able to, if now that my daughter lives in South Carolina, I can drop everything and hop on a plane and go visit my grandson if I need to. And so it is just that time freedom and giving myself that raise that my coworkers who didn't say yes are still working their jobs, doing this, trading time for money. So that in a nutshell is my story.
That's awesome. And when Julia introduced me to it, how there's just a lot of like cells out there and stuff, but it was weird because I told Julia, we were sitting at Panera, and I was like, I have a really good feeling. I was like, and typically, like, I have very good intuitions. I said, but I really have a good feeling this time. And I was like, it's not Herbalife or anything like that. I said, this is like totally different. This is actually wanting to health. And, I I became really interested. So I want to like, you know, be a part of the team and work hard, you know, and advertise and do everything that I need to do. But I don't know what it was. Like I've been struggling for so long. So I've been single for 20 months now. Got out of a very toxic relationship and I have 2 kids. And I've been working 3 jobs and I prayed to God every day. I was like, please just help me. I was like, there was times where I didn't even know how I was going to pay my mortgage or anything like that. But he always came through with like the stimulus check, you know, just stuff like that. It was really exciting. And that little bit, you know, gave me hope. I'm like, there's something out there. I just don't know what it is. And then when Julia came to the office to see Dr. Beck, we were just talking just normal, and she was like, you know, I want to introduce you to one of the businesses that I do. And I was like, okay. And so we met up last week at Panera and we talked about it. Of course I need to, you know, learn more knowledge about it, but once I do, I mean, I'm sure it's not, you know, every day is a learning, you know, things.
On the job training, like I did. Like I said, knew nothing of network marketing, but I was interested enough to just say, you know what, I have faith that the person I trusted, you know, that I'd worked with for a long time, Sharon Mortonby, was a good coworker and a great dear friend. I trusted her because I knew she wouldn't, you know, me into something that was a scam. And the thing is, I thought because of the PubMed research, I felt comfortable, and the cardiologist that really made me feel like, hey, he wouldn't get involved in something that was a scam. And he went through all of the studies, more time spent on reading them that I had, but I just knew that PubMed didn't publish a bunch of scam snake oil, and this was the real deal. And I just had this gut feeling that if I didn't say yes, I was going to regret it, and I, you know, needed to just run with it and take the bull by the horns. But the cool thing is like I said, you can earn while you learn, and you don't have to know everything when you get started, because we have a system we plug into. And then you would have all of us at your beck and call. You know, you connect us to your prospects, and then we do the educating in the beginning.
And just like we're doing now. I mean, just like we're doing now. And you got tools, I'll give you tools, things like that. I want Ruth to introduce herself. So Ruth, and I'll skip over me because you know my story a bit, but I'm connected to this company through Marilyn, through Denise Reck, who's a medical legal nurse consultant, through Dr. Kimmel, who's a neurologist. Dr. Gordon, the cardiologist, trained me on everything too. I mean, I was praying as well, and this was given to me. And many of the people here feel that same way. Often I hear that when people come to our team, they say, this is a God thing. I'm like, yep, it was for me. So it's just the way it is. But Ruth is my dear friend, my next door neighbor, a labor and delivery nurse for many, many years at Rex Hospital. And so Ruth, are you able to say a quick hello and kind of share your story here before we get on our team call? And Marilyn, might as well just keep this rolling, keep it recording, and then I can split the videos if you want. That might be the easiest way with time.
Yeah, we can see. We've got, what, 9 minutes? So we'll see. We can stop it and start it right away.
Yeah, I don't think you need to shut this one off and start the new one. It might take too long. And I can trim the videos. Okay, Ruth, are you available?
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Okay, so I apologize that I was at a wine and design. Just finished, and I'm downtown Raleigh trying to get out of a parking garage. Okay. So that's why my picture's not on here.
Be safe.
So, and I'm sorry I'm late to the call, but I just wanted to let you know that I totally understand your situation, because my daughter did the exact same thing, where she got out of a relationship that was toxic. She has 2 little kids, and she's trying to make it as a single mom. So I really sympathize for what you're going through, and I'm very sorry that you're having to go through this. It's a very hard road. So just want to put that out there. And I got into this because Julia, actually, when my daughter was pregnant with her second baby, she had really bad arthritis and couldn't get out of bed. And so I was asking everybody to pray for her, and Julia said, hey, I said, I'm leaving for Florida tomorrow. She lives in Gainesville. And she said, hey, do you want to take this for a tandem? And she gave us some studies and stuff. And so long story short, she started the day after she came home from the hospital, and I got so curious and heard some read some information, and she shared some people talking about it with me while I was in Florida. And so I decided that if it was so good for my daughter, I'm going to try it too. So I'm a nurse. I work at night, and I was getting so tired and so having trouble bouncing back and forth from night shift to day shift, and very low energy. And so I didn't realize how bad that was affecting me until I took this product, and I no longer had to take anything for sleep, and I had energy and clarity in the morning. And I was just like, to me, after about 4 months, I was like, wow, like everybody I know should be on this. So my daughter is still on it. She is involved in the company, but she's had to deal with so much with her ex-husband recently that emotionally she's just burnt out. So she's kind of not in a place right now to join us, but she's very, very excited and still taking the products, and so very, very happy she's gone on them. So that's kind of how I got involved, because I was like, well, everybody needs to know this. So,
and then Ruth, you went on to become, what I love about Ruth is that I'm telling you what, Ruth knows this science. So Ruth studies NRF2, NRF1, mitochondria, NAD, I mean, smart as heck. And because of everything she learned with LifeVantage, she went back to school for the last over a year to become a certified health coach. And you're starting that business up now, right?
Right. And that's kind of got me, like, I'm trying to help people with all dimensions of getting their whole body, mind, and soul back. And so I'm hoping that the Nutrigenomic piece will be a piece that I can recommend to people. I certainly can't put people on it, but I can recommend it because I feel like that's such an important tool for people to have. So I'm really excited, and I'm trying to launch that right now, but I'm going to be going back I'm working nights still for right now. So yeah, that's me.
And Maria was going to join us. Ruth has had another great friend here in Raleigh and Wake Forest area. Because Joyce, you're up in Youngsville.
Huh?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So Maria couldn't jump on. She had a friend who wanted information on LifeVantage, and right now was the time that she was available. So Maria's sad she couldn't be here, but Maria was a customer of Ruth's and changed her thyroid condition. She really doesn't even need medication anymore. Her endocrinologist was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm doing Protandim. So she's now become a distributor, and she's really doing well, sharing it with everybody and following up and following the system. She's won our monthly incentive award twice now. And so she wants to meet you too. And it's Ruth and Maria and I and a few others to get together in North Raleigh, at least once a month, and sit down and visit and do business strategy and help each other. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So we are getting ready to start our team call in about 4 minutes, but Joyce and Vanessa's here a little bit early. Vanessa is in Canada, right?
Yeah, Vanessa is a single mom as well. So she does LifeVantage. You two will connect on team calls. And Joyce is thinking about joining LifeVantage, Vanessa. So she is brand new. And I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about your journey, but
yeah, we were just doing like a 3-way call before the team call. So Joyce and I.
Oh, and then I jumped on because I decided to jump on early today.
That's okay. That's okay. Meet Joyce. Joyce.
Normally I'm eating supper, or like last week during the team call, I kept leaving and then coming back and then leaving because I was stirring dinner on the stove. So this week I have supper done early. So my 2 girls are sitting beside me eating their supper right now. And I'm munching down on my salad. So I just thought, I'm sitting in front of the laptop anyways, why don't I just turn it on? So I was thinking.
Well, there you go. That's great. Oh, Joyce, do you have any questions for us before we jump into our team call?
So when it comes to, starting the business and, getting all the tools and getting educated, how long does it typically take to start getting customers to actually be interested in the products?
Well, it totally varies. Like I said, when I was a customer, I was inviting people to hear the information. So I was actually, enrolling a customer without even knowing that's what I was doing. But then, so basically it's just how much time you want to spend inviting, or, how many people can you talk to? But what's really cool is this is new a new system called the ITT system, which we didn't have when I first joined. We had like weekly meetings that we'd bring people to back in person, you know, like sitting down at a conference or at an actual venue, you know, doing a presentation. But now we have Zoom, we have three-way calls, we have ways to just do this in your spare time. So in evenings or on lunch breaks or in, you know, you can be texting friends and saying, hey, I just started a new business. Would you support me and get on my launch call? Or would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Or let me practice on you. There's so many, you know, when you're brand new, the feeling of, what do I say? The thing is, we teach you all of those little things, but you're basically connecting them to us and letting us do the information or explaining, like educating. You're basically just the messenger. You're kind of connecting people, but you're not telling the message at that point. So that's the fun part, is that in the beginning, you get to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but, you know, could you just be a guinea pig for me and let me practice on you? And you'll be surprised how many people, while you're practicing on them, will say, oh, well, this does sound like something I should be on, right? Especially now, the time of, you know, the virus and the pandemic, with people are freaking out about their immune system and how to be well. The cool thing is this month, we have a brand new product that we're launching, and the end of the month, and that is going to be called Daily Wellness, and it is a powder drink. And I was just at a conference where they're let us we got to take some tubs home to sample it, and it's a delicious, tastes like a berry tea, but it has zinc, vitamin A, vitamin D. It has epicor, which is a fermented yeast, and then it also has a zinc in it as well. So, and an elderberry. Elderberry is one thing. So those 5 ingredients, it's called 5 to Thrive. And we're going to actually have Joanne Shear-Parkin just hopped on. She's a
Dan, Joanne is one of our top smart, beautiful leaders.
Oh, Julia, thank you.
Yeah, she's